the Museum of the Souls of Purgatory. In 1894, a fire that had broken out in a chapel that no longer exists, dedicated to the Virgin near the banks of the Tiber River in Rome, in Italy, was extinguished. The faithful and Massal priest Victor Jouet could not believe their eyes. On a half-burned wall was erased the form of a melancholy face that seemed to be suffering. Is it a result of the flames or the sign of the afterlife? The priest and the faithful were sure of the second. The priest even went ahead with the interpretation, said it was about the soul of a dead person who was in purgatory and who was trying to get in touch with the living so that they could pray for her salvation of her soul. After this revelation, Jouet will make it his life goal to investigate and collect corresponding signs and testimonies. For this purpose, he will devote a large part of his life and will travel all over Italy and Europe. The research turned out to be quite difficult, but indeed he managed to discover enough shaky evidence, in his opinion, creating a respectable collection. He believed that the dead who had to spend a long time period in purgatory in order to be purified tried to attract the attention of the living with various signs so that with their prayers they could facilitate their passage to heaven. Returning to Rome, he would buy a buildable estate on the banks of the Tiber where the Temple of the Sacred Heart of the Intercession Sacro Cuore del Suffragio would be erected. The church was built in the Gothic style there Jouet would exhibit his collection. The finds are dated between 1637 and 1919. The truth is that the French priest probably spent his life chasing chimeras. Jouet's collection contained anything but solid evidence. For this reason, it was largely reduced, eliminating what was not valid. The collection is not recognized either by the official church or, of course, by science. Nevertheless, it fascinates lovers of the supernatural. The museum does consist of findings related to Christ and Christianity and saints, but of simple marks, or rather burns, on books, clothes, and pillowcases, etc. Excluding the case that these signs were done by accident or by deception, the explanation, always according to the priest, is that they were caused by the immaterial fire that surrounds the souls in purgatory. And these are signs with an undefined form where everyone can interpret as they want, or are they signs of specific forms such as crosses and hands, which were probably made with fired objects, judging from the prints, for example, of hands which look hardly realistic. The mini-museum, due to the limited number of objects, is concentrated in a glass case that occupies one wall of a small hall near the sacristy of the church. Please leave your comments about this, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.